It's time for our SME segment for a Monday, which is often our very last one. Now, today we are joined by Blossom of Blossom Foods. She's the CEO of Blossom Foods products. That's Blossom Pogbe. We'll talk about that name in just a bit. Now, she will be sharing with us the secrets on keeping a business afloat in such a tough economy as Nigeria. And she's a seasoned human resource professional and also an entrepreneur, as we can see here right before us. You are welcome, Blossom Pogbe.
Thank you so much.
Now, Pogbe is from...
Pogbe is from Ogun State.
Ogun State?
Yes.
What language is that?
Egun.
Egun?
Yes.
I used to think Egun was from Dagri.
Okay, Egun is in Ogun State, the shared border with Badagry. That's the Ipokia.
Idiroko.
Ipokia.
I know these places.
You know those places.
Yeah.
So that's
very beautiful.
Yeah, that's my husband.
Oh,
Well, I am from Delta State.
Fantastic. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Good to have you here, Blossom. So, Blossom, right before us, we can see your handiwork.
Yes, sir.
These are products from Blossom Foods.
Yes, sir.
You guys process and also package foods in very, very nice ways and branded very, very nicely. But this wasn't what you used to do from before. What was your work of life from before?
Okay, I was an HR professional. Those I still practice, but not as much as my business, because it's not really going to be easy to combine both. So I focus more on the business. So just once in a while, I attend to some of the needs that come up as regards HR. So I worked for a long time. I worked like 16 years.
Wow.
I started as a sales.
16 years? How old were you when you were working then? 16?
Okay, she just asked me what I am now. I'm almost getting to 50, so.
Oh, no, it doesn't show. You look all 18 to me.
Oh, that's true.
But then you started doing this.
So I moved.
So far?
Yeah, so I left paid employment 2018. So I think I had the knowledge that it's time for me to start my business after working for those number of years.
So why did you decide to go into food
business? Okay, prior to that, I had some experience because I moved from Delta State to Lagos State. So, you know, this change of environment, change of food, change of everything. So I had some issues with food poisoning because of the food. So that experience, that time was still in my mind. So whenever I want to get some food, I'm also very, very careful of where I source my food.
Go to the source.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was one of the experiences that also birthed this idea when the time came for me to leave the paid employment. So it was very easy to just navigate. Since I already have an experience on food, I just felt that, okay, there could be a solution to these things.
Yeah, provide a solution.
Because there's a problem already, and we need to solve this problem. The little I can, because I can't solve everything, but from the little I can, I'll just do my part to see that problems of adulterated food are what I reduce as much as possible.
We have a variety of the stuff that you provide for at Blossom's Foods here. And I can see some kuli already, some plantain chips that Titi's already eyeing, and I've asked her to remove her eyes. This is palm oil here.
Yeah, that's palm oil.
That's Blossom palm oil, very nicely packaged and everything, very, very neat. And I see beans, crayfish.
Yes.
And that's honey.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about honey. Where do you source your honey from?
Okay, my honey is basically from Enugu, Unsuka precisely.
Wow,
very
you have
good.
to go all the way.
Yes, so I have two good vendors over there. We've made contact for a long time. And when we got the first samples, we had to do our laboratory test to be sure it's good for consumption. And we went to an agreement that you keep to the standard to ensure that whosoever it takes this honey doesn't have any issues, because we maintain good health as much as possible for our customers. We have their health at mind in everything we do.
That's fantastic.
So that's where we actually get it from Unsuka, directly from Unsuka.
Now, that's interesting. So if you get from Unsuka, then you brand and package.
Yes, sir.
And I'm wondering how much more you're left with when it comes to profit. What's your profit margin like? Is it enough?
Well,
would you say that it is an acceptable margin to...
Well, at the first instant, it wasn't really marginable. But now, because we've gained entrance into the market, we've penetrated the market,
volume.
At least we've been able to increase our profit margin. So currently, we are doing like 20 to 25%, depending on the market. We have B2B customers, we have B2C customers. So depending, it varies from 20 to 25.
Wow. And how much did it cost you to begin? I know you started small.
Yes. So,
like, if I was going to get started, what products should I start with, and how much should I invest?
Okay. So I started with palm oil.
Okay.
Yes. So my investment at that time was just 300,000. So I got the products. I got like 20. At that time it was 30 kegs. Yes, 30 kegs. I got that time, my first purchase. So we started with 300,000. Then as time went on, I started the registration process. So if you add those processes, you could just say within 600K, you should be able to start a good business. Because I also did NAFDAC registration that same year. I got the trademark. Then I also tried to see how I could get the brand name. So adding those things.
You chose one product to get started with.
Exactly,
what
one
was
product.
behind your reasoning for choosing palm oil as a startup product?
Okay, because the very reason I started, because that was the first thing I knew that we lacked in Lagos.
Lagos,
palm
it was,
oil.
yeah, it was.
Yes,
it is difficult to get.
Very
good palm oil.
exactly. That was why I started with palm oil, because I knew that I have a good source. I know palm oil, and good enough. My husband has a good background as regards palm oil because they process palm oil in their own village.
Oh.
Yes, in Egun, they have.
Married into palm oil.
You can say that again.
I can imagine. And then from then on, you
From
started
then,
advancing
so
further.
and yeah, so from palm oil. When I think another thing, how I also got into other products was when customers were not asking. You
So
understand?
you were able to gauge what people need.
Exactly at the beginning, yeah.
They need beans to go with the palm oil.
So
Let's do beans.
exactly. So
Crayfish to go with the palm oil. That's for the
even dry fish.
plantain too, everything. Dry
Yeah, so
fish.
yes, local snacks. That's another thing. The local snacks actually came when we went for exhibition.
This is kuli kuli. This is
Yes, that's
part of
kuli
what we're talking about. This is actually kuli kuli. This is nicely packaged in a resealable type package, so you can have a couple, seal it back, and put it back in the fridge or wherever. And this will stay for how long?
That's for 1 year.
Wow.
But normally,
Yeah, no, this will not stay for 2 days in my house. Actually. but
That's the
beautiful.
lifespan, yeah.
So that's grand. I see your branding and all of that, but how do you push out your products? Yes, you have B2B and B2C customers and all of that, but what other means do you use to advertise or market your product?
Okay, we use the social media handles
Social media is always
very well, as in we make use of it with Instagram, Facebook, not so much on Twitter, but yes.
No, Twitter, so people are vexed.
Yeah, so
It's okay.
and then we also make use of our WhatsApp. Then we have a website, so those we push it through the Google
And do you have
business.
other ancillary, like logistics?
Yes, we have.
For sending out your.
Yes, we have partners with logistics company that help us deliver to the B2C customers.
Okay.
You understand? So they will deliver right on time. We give them most within Lagos, within 24
How
hours
far
they
is your
get
reach?
there. Sorry?
How far is your reach?
Oh, we have gone far. Within Lagos, outside Lagos, we've gone to UK, we've gone to US, we've gone to Canada. Yes, yes.
Wow.
Last week, good enough. Just this last week, we did 3 countries. Canada, we dispatched to Canada last week. We dispatched to US last week. We also dispatched to UK last week. The UK lady just sent me her own picture now, so that I could later today I could also let them know that.
So it is safe to say that from starting from such a small product and inside perhaps maybe your backyard,
Exactly.
you are now looking at a worldwide arrangement currently. Perhaps
Exports.
there's potential for
Exports.
that. Export, exactly. There's potential for like big export.
A big potential.
So
for
if
us.
there's anybody out there who's wondering what to go into for business and they were thinking food, would you say take my example and use it as a template? What would be your guide, step 1, 2, 3, for anybody who's sitting down with 500,000 naira current?
Okay, start. When you get a very good source, be sure of the quality. As I said, take it to the lab, see that the quality is good for consumption. After that, you go with registration, because putting a structure in your business is very, very key for you to grow. If I didn't have a structure in place, I'm not sure I would have grown this far. So get your company registered, get your NAFDAC. For food, you have to register with NAFDAC.
So I must already register before I begin selling. Is that what you're saying?
No,
Is that
you could.
necessary?
No, you can start so you can test the water. Like I said, I started testing.
Family,
I didn't
friends.
register immediately.
Okay.
I registered NAFDAC August.
Okay.
But I started selling June.
Okay. Okay.
June, July, then August. I went to when I saw that
Locally,
people
you're
were
selling locally.
within my location. So when I saw that people were getting a concert with the product, they liked the product, they had good feedback because I've tested the quality and it was cool. So I started the registration of the NAFDAC. But for CAC, I did CAC before I started selling at all.
Okay, so CAC first.
CAC, then NAFDAC.
Then start sample your
Sample your
out,
products,
Then get your
go to your
registration.
NAFDAC.
Then start expanding your products from
Exactly.
one product to
To another,
another.
yes.
So I should be able to get started. If I have an angel investor, maybe like give me 500,000, I should be able to give them back the 500,000 by what time?
Okay. Well, because of the issue of market penetration, I would just say within a year you should be able to do that.
Within a year.
Yes.
Yeah? And you have experience in this because, I mean, it's your thing. And this economy is not one that's been smiling. If you've been able to put this together by yourself in such a hard economy, would you suggest that this food is the way to go when it comes to starting a business?
Yes. You know why it's good to go? Because
Why?
everybody eats.
Everybody eats.
So if you could get your market, if you get your target market, your target audience, your target customer, you are good to go. Because everybody eats. I tell you, there's no day we don't make sales.
True.
We always sell.
Blossom,
The supermarkets are selling.
I'm coming over to your place because you have to put me through all of these because I want to go into food business.
Oh, you're welcome. I will be there for you, sir.
Plenty of sky for birds to fly.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Blossom.
Thank you so much,
Pogbe,
sir.
for coming through. Love your products. Titi, come and take. Mike, come and take. Francis, Grandpa, you need a smile on your face.
Go ahead.
So do stay tuned because very soon we'll be taking you inside our kitchen to taste what we have prepared for you, and you're gonna love this one.
Wow,
So don't worry.
Thank you.
It's all giving today.
Thank
We'll be back. Stay tuned in just a slightly.